So histograms are going to pop up again, as I've said, and one thing about histograms that's important is their shape. So I'm going to show you a couple of different histograms now, and I want you to pay attention to what the shape of the graph looks like. So this is a graph that shows the 20 most played Christmas songs by decade of popular release. So we have the year that the song was released on the x-axis, and then the y-axis would be a frequency or a count. And what you can see is that most of the Christmas songs that we hear on the radio were released in the 40s and 50s. And fewer songs are released in either direction on either side. And as you can see here, some of the values can be binned, just like in a group frequency distribution. So any song released in the 1940s is in that 1940s column. Any song released in the 1950s is in that 1950s column. Here are some histograms from the class data. And these show the frequency of answers to the question of how certain are you that you'll get an A in the class, and also that greatest number of drinks you've ever had in a night. So what you can see for the question of how certain are you that you'll get an A in the class, most of the responses are clumped towards the right end of that graph at 100, with sort of fewer and fewer responses as you get out to the left side of the graph. So most people in this class are pretty confident that they're going to get an A, which is great. The other graph that I'm showing you is the greatest number of drinks that you've ever had in a night. And here you can see it's sort of the opposite shape. Most of the responses are clumped on the left side of the graph, with fewer and fewer responses as you get out towards the right side of the graph. And so all of these histograms that I just showed you are what we would call different shapes. And we refer to the shape of a histogram as its skew. So histograms can take on three shapes. They can be symmetrical, left skewed, or right skewed, as well as occasionally having some funkier shapes that we would consider bimodal or multimodal. And now I'm going to pop over to the document camera for one last time in this lecture to draw what these shapes generally look like.